Hello fellow teachers, my name is Michael Bell. Throughout this video we will be learning about the maths phenomenon, the Fibonacci sequence. It's aged at about 10 years old, so about grade 4. Who is Fibonacci and what is the Fibonacci sequence, you may ask? Well, Fibonacci was a mathematician. He was around about 800 years ago or something like that. His real name was Leonardo da Pisa, but people just called him Fibonacci. He had a lot to do with maths in nature. Fibonacci was born in the town of Pisa, which is in Italy, which is famous for the Leaning Tower of Pisa, of course. With his theory, he tried to explain it with putting one female rabbit and one male rabbit behind a brick wall, which pretty much, to make them breed, one will make another one, which will be 3. Then he'll breed with 2 other females, which will make 5. So that's pretty much how the sequence, or how he explains the sequence. Anyway, but saying that, the Fibonacci sequence doesn't always have to be about rabbits breeding. It has a lot of other things in nature, like, for example, the petals on a flower. Like, if you count them, you can guarantee it will be a number out of the Fibonacci sequence. Pine cones, plants, leaves and all that. There will always be a Fibonacci number associated with nature, pretty much. A good way to introduce the Fibonacci sequence to children is to ask if they've ever picked a daisy or if they've ever seen a pine cone, and have they noticed that on pine cones they have spirals on the seeds like this. So you'll see all the spirals going around. You'll notice that no matter how many spirals they have each way, they all include to be a number in the Fibonacci sequence. A good way to get the students kicking on with the Fibonacci sequence and well known with the Fibonacci sequence is to just get them to fill out a sheet with the Fibonacci numbers, just to fill out the replacing what needs to be filled here. So pretty much with it is the first 2 numbers equal the second one, so 1 and 1 equals 2, 1 and 2 equals 3, 2 and 3 equals 5. Then you jump on and you get something like this when they've filled it out. That's what it should look like. So now that they've done that, we're going to move on to the next activity. It's called working with Fibonacci rectangles. This activity can lead on to more knowledge about Fibonacci and spirals and that sort of stuff, but we're just going to keep it basic. So all the students are really going to need is some coloured pencils, a ruler, and a piece of paper. So to start off, you'll get the students to draw a 1 by 1 square, which will look a little bit like this. The next step for this activity is, so they've just done a 1 by 1 square, you'll get the students to add on a 2 by 2 square to those 1 by 1 squares. And it really should look a little bit like this. Then they will go on to add 3 by 3 to that, which will look a little bit like this. And then last, you will get them to do a 5 by 5 square on those rectangles, which will end up something like this. Now that we've gone through all the steps of drawing the squares, have a look, go back and have a look at it. So you've got, that was the last one we did. Get the students to look at the sheet that they first did at the start of the lesson, which was this one, and get them to add on what was the next one. What is the next number in line for the Fibonacci sequence? So they just did a 5 by 5. They will now need to do an 8 by 8 square on top of this one. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the end of the lesson. I hope that helps you out a little bit with teaching your children about the Fibonacci sequence. My name's Michael Bell. The pleasure's been mine. I will see you another day, guys. Catch ya. Bye.